Hi everybody, it's Patti and Debbie at Print and Pixel Studio, and these are the supplies that you're going to need if you want to craft along with us today. As you can see, it's stuff that everybody has at home. Plastic bags, pattern pieces, wrappers and bags that you get potatoes and fruit in, and some tissue paper. So this will be an easy, fun craft to do. And the results of it are going to be, this handmade paper, or faux handmade paper, as the case may be. Debbie and I used to make real handmade paper years ago and sold it at several galleries and stuff across the United States. But after a while, we got sidetracked into other types of art and crafting and stuff. And so the other day, we were watching YouTube, and what is her name, Debbie? What's the name of the... Oh,
you're asking me?
I know, we just looked it up, too. God, short brains, short memories. Anyway, we'll link her video in the description. And she was making faux handmade paper, and she was making it like we used to make it, look like it used to look in the day when we first started making handmade paper, where it had all kinds of like seeds and that kind of stuff in it. And we thought, geez, you know, we haven't done anything like that for a while. Let's try our hand at it again, and let's try this faux handmade paper. And so that's what we did. And it's the process is pretty easy. It's you take your freezer paper, and you put it down with the shiny side up, and then you layer it or you stamp it, which is what we did with these. These are all stamps that we used. We also found, Debbie found this the other day, Archival Ink, Ranger's Archival Ink, and so that's what we used. The regular distress ink I wouldn't use. It doesn't come out right. It smears and stuff. It doesn't look good. So always use the Archival. Anyway, if you look at this close, it looks like real plants in there. This kind of reminds me of that Queen Anne's lace that grows wild, you know, out in the fields and stuff. And this looks just like fern, but it's not. It's just, and we're going to show you the process today, but it's just stamped and then layered with crayons and some herbs out of the kitchen and tissue paper on top, and this is what you get. And it's fabulous. It really looks great. And here's another one we tried, and again, we stamped it. You'll see a repeat of a lot of the same stamps because we don't have a big stamp collection, but believe me, after this, we're going to start to gather more stamps. But anyway, this is the same thing, stamped with the Archival ink, and we did, most of the time we used the brown, the dark, I think it's called espresso, ground espresso, because we felt that came out really good. Then again, you can see the crayon, how it's melted in there. And then Debbie went in the kitchen and she came out with a bag that her potatoes had come in. And she said, geez, I want to try this because I think this could be kind of cool. And cool it was. Look at this. We just layered it on top like that before we ironed it. And look at the design. It's just fabulous. And the texture of it and everything, it's really cool, and it's real pliable, so you could make all kinds of stuff out of it. Then we took these two. Now this is, let's see if I have a piece here. Yeah. Okay, we found at a thrift store a whole bag full of these old, I guess they're the iron-on pattern pieces for embroidery. And so we thought, well, let's try that and see how that could work. And so we took this piece, a piece like this, laid it down onto the freezer paper. Thank you, Debbie. It's a ventriloquist act. Put the netting on top, this time on the bottom, netting on the bottom, and then put this, yeah, okay, take that back. I'm getting confused. we put the netting next to the freezer paper, then we put this on top. And didn't we put a piece of, and then we put a piece of paper on top of it, didn't we? Another piece of tissue? I'm forgetting how we did it now. Didn't we put two pieces of tissue on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't wrinkle this. So it was netting on the bottom. On top of the freezer paper, you laid your netting. Then we put this on, and then we took crinkled tissue paper, and it might sound confusing now, but as you watch the process, you'll see what I mean. Crinkled tissue paper on top, ironed it down, and this is what you get. Same process, only on this one, we took the pattern and put it next to the freezer paper and put the netting on the top this time. And this is how it came out. So you get two completely different looks, but both equally great. And doesn't this remind you of like old vintage fabric, you know, that's been washed and worn a million times, kind of pioneer looking? It does me.
Yeah.
And then Deb said, hey, how about we also got, in these patterns, we got these printed instructions, and they're in 3 different languages, English, French, and Spanish. So she took a piece of it, and she stamped on the freezer paper, put her crayons and everything, shredded crayons and stuff down on there. Then she put her, now you wrinkled this.
Yes.
Yeah,
there's
this
no
one,
tissue on top.
this
That's on
one,
top.
she wrinkled first and then put it on. Where on these, we didn't. We left them unwrinkled and then put another piece of wrinkled tissue paper on top. So anyway, in this one, she wrinkled this print tissue paper, put it on top, and then ironed it on. And at first we thought, no, I don't know if we'd like that. This morning we came in after it had dried overnight. Oh, wow, we really like it. It really looks great. So that's the thing of it. Sometimes you think, oh, that was a mistake, but wait overnight and come back in the morning and you'll see it in a whole different light. Oh, now this, what did I do with it? Can you grab that out of that? It's in the, I meant to get it out. It's in that box there, paper box right there, right behind me, that plastic one. Okay, we were at a thrift store the other day, and I found this wad of, here it is, this wad of tissue paper that somebody had used, obviously, they were moving and they wrapped stuff because it says 3 brown candles. So they had used this to wrap up stuff when they were moving, and it had to be some time ago because, and looky here, Debbie, this is something else we want to salvage off this thing, this tape. Because the masking tape is totally discolored, and the consistency of it is really different now than it would be as a fresh piece of tape. So anyway, we took this and we kind of like pulled it apart and salvaged little pieces of it. And so we wanted to, I mean, it's already wrinkled, so let's use this, you know. So we took a tea, and we didn't put any crayon or anything on this one because of the large print and stuff. We didn't think it really needed it. We thought it might make it too busy. So we just took the freezer paper, sprinkled tea leaves all over it, you know, here and there, wherever you want. And I think I put too much tea on this one. I wouldn't use as much next time, but hey, it looks great anyway. Okay, and then took the pieces of crinkled, or a piece that we could find that would fit on that paper. Already left it crinkled, actually crinkled it a little bit more before we spread it out on top of the freezer paper. Pressed it down, and this is what you get. And is that great looking? And what a cool way to salvage something that you think this is just throwaway, you know? But no, you can get some really cool pieces out of it. Now you might not get a whole, 8.5 by 11 or anything piece of paper, but hey, there's a lot of stuff you could do with this. Okay, and now this one is the paper is all stamped, different, designs, again, in that ground espresso color. Then we took, this process is what you're going to see us make today. Then we took the crayons, scattered them all around, and I don't think we put any plastic bag in this one, but I'll show you that in the first one that we did. We just did the crayons, I think, on this one. We didn't put anything else in there. And then the crushed or the crinkled tissue paper on top and ironed it. And look how great that looks. You'd swear those were real plants in there.
I think that was the plain.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
This was the tissue paper that we used on this was, when you get patterns sometimes, there'll be a piece of this pattern paper that's plain with nothing on it. That's what we used here. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. You're right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't have enough to use today to make another one. And we're really bummed about it because we think it looks really great. And we were going to try Kraft tissue paper, but every place we went this morning to get some, nobody had any. So, but if you want to get this look and you don't have the original pattern papers, then go ahead and try the Kraft colored tissue paper, because I think you'll get the same result. Very close anyway, don't you, Deb?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But how great looking is that? And here again is the white one that I talked about earlier, and I don't know if you can see it. It's very tiny.
In this one here.
In this
The
one?
little plastic pieces in the one I did, because I put them
This
in
one?
there. Yeah, at the bottom here. This
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, there
plastic
they are.
bag.
Okay. So here and here, you can see little tiny pieces of plastic bag, which would be this. Cut up and scattered in there. And they give a really neat feel. They almost look like flower petals, or, yeah, I would say more the consistency of flower petals. Yeah, so you could cut them up, just little tiny pieces, and pop them in there. And then we also tried, and we don't have a sample of it because the piece didn't turn out like we wanted it to. However, we did use the green from these, and we thought, oh, they'll probably just go clear color after you press them. No, they stay green. They stay this really neat green. So if you wanted to pick up that color in any of your work, this would work. And I think you can see, yeah, there's some little tiny ones in here that you can see. I think here there might be one. But anyway, you get some really great looks with this process, and it's fun to do. Am I in? Okay. We're trying to keep me in in the camera today, so if you see these blue pieces of tape, that's telling me don't go past there. But anyhow, these are super fun to do, so let's do one. I gotta step away from the camera for, oh, are you getting it? Okay. But now we're looking for everything that we could find in the store that's packaged. Oh, I'll use that piece of, yeah, just to protect the bottom piece here. Okay, now I went ahead and inked this first, and don't make fun of me for making a mess of this ink job. I smeared it a few places, but I don't think it's really going to hurt anything, because on the other pieces that we did, I made mistakes, and after you do the crinkled tissue paper thing, you hardly see it. I gotta weight these down. Let's see, what have I got? Oh, and another thing, the crayons and stuff that you want, we've used the regular Crayola crayons in the bright colors, the regular normal ones. But Deb, when she went to get crayons, because we didn't want to take them from our kids, She found this. It's called Colors of the World. And look at these fabulous colors. Look at this. I mean, these are great, okay? And that's what we've used pretty much total on all of our pieces are the colors out of this Colors of the World box. Because they really, well, you could see here, look how great they look. They look very natural, very earthy, and really great. Okay, so I went ahead and stamped this because pretty much I'm sure everybody knows how to use their stamps, and mine is pretty messy. Let's see, I'm out of camera, I can tell. Okay, here. We need to get some kind of little anchors when we do stuff like this. Mm-hmm. So I guess the first thing we'll do is to start to put crayon on. Now, Deb was kind enough to donate her lipstick. Her lipstick eyeliner and
sharpener.
Yeah,
right?
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but it works really well. So now they do have, and I know that the video that we watched, she had one, a crayon sharpener. So, you know, you can get one of those if you want. But this works okay, or just use a knife or something. Anyway, you just want to push them around. You know, we have this brush that is kind of old and not worth anything anymore, so we use it, and it helps get it off of the sharpener too. But anyway, it's you know, strictly up to you. I mean, there's no right or wrong, and if you make a mistake, don't worry about it, because in the end, you're not going to see it. And we used 2 to 3 colors from this palette so that, you know, it wasn't too monotone. Okay, let's see. Some of this brown in there. Whoops. One thing is you want to make sure you kind of like peel your crayons back, because you do get some paper off of it now and then. Okay, so you want to try to make sure that your little crayon pieces are not too big. They look better if they're smaller. So kind of like break them apart with a stick or your brush or whatever you're working with. Oops, get over there. And it doesn't matter if they go on your stamping or not. It just all blends in together in the end. So anyway, you get the gist of it here, how it works. I don't think we have any. That's probably enough, huh? Don't you think? Mm-hmm. Okay, then we don't have any tea today, and like I say, I got carried away with the tea in that other project. But we're going to use thyme, and it's a cool color. Another thing I was thinking, and I forgot to bring it, I was thinking I have some ginger tea, and the color is really neat on the tea bag when you make it, and I was going to bring some over and sprinkle it on here and see if you might be able to get that color, you know?
Yeah.
That's something you could try later,
Yeah.
another day. See if it would work. Okay, so this is going to give you kind of that earthy tone, you know, earthy feel to it with a little texture and stuff.
And it smells good too.
Yes, and it smells good too. I know, I noticed that when I was ironing some this morning. I thought, what's that smell? And I realized. Okay, so I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
That's all she wrote. Now all we have to do,
Tissue paper.
yeah, is the tissue paper. And, so you just want to wad it up really good. Oh no, let's put some of these on, I forgot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's do these.
Bags. We should do it all.
Oh
on
yeah,
there,
we should
so-
do bags. I'm getting forgetful now. Okay, so this is the potato bag, and we just cut it into little squares, but you could do whatever, you know, it doesn't have to be squares, could be circles, stripes, whatever. Anyway, just cut up some of those, toss them around on here however you want. And there's no, like I say, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. It's just, you know, whatever you want to do with it. It's just let yourself have some fun. And you think, you know, you think, oh no, that's not going to look good, you know, and all this and that. And oh yeah, it does look good. We were really surprised when we saw how it turns out. We just love it. It's like our favorite thing now. Going through the market trying to see what
What kind of bags?
I know.
you find?
I was calling Debbie today from the market going, hey, they have
We found pink ones and
yeah,
yellow
red,
ones
I know.
and red ones.
We're gonna get more.
Yeah. I'm trying to use
My husband
stuff.
said, how many potatoes are we gonna be eating?
We're making potato bread, potato pancakes,
Right.
potato salad.
I'm probably doing overkill on this, but so what? You know, it'll be fun. Okay. Yeah, potato salad sounds good. Okay, and now, what shall we do? The plastic or the brown? I mean, the brown or the green? Oops. I guess we could try the brown. Okay, so you just want to take a little slice of this and just trim it, you know, just little pieces of it. Nothing big. You just want to add some dimension and some texture to this. He's kind of big, but we'll let him be. This is probably the hardest part because it's kind of static and it doesn't trim off that good. Just flip it around wherever you think. Okay, looks probably good. All right, let's do it. Okay, what did I do with my, oh, there it is. Nope. Okay, wad up your tissue paper. Then you want to stretch it back out. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. Hopefully I'm still in there. All right, stretch it back out and just lay it down. Don't press on it much or anything. Just kind of lay it where it goes. Get rid of these weights. It's easier when you're not working in such a restricted area, but bear with us because this is how it has to be. Okay, now put a piece of parchment paper over the top. And I just moved it. Okay. And then you just bring your iron down on the top. This is really awkward, sitting in this position. Okay, and try to kind of hang on to your parchment paper. Like I say, this is much easier if you're standing, number one, and secondly, if you're not in such a confined area. But we're going to make it work. So you just want to press your iron, and we have it on the highest temperature. And just press your iron, because the main thing is you want to connect, like, you know, anytime you're using freezer paper, you want to make sure that it's a tight connect with the freezer paper, the edges of the tissue. Now you could use napkin too, and I tried to see if I could find some this morning when I was at the store, some maybe Kraft color napkins, but again I couldn't find those. But you could try that and see how that comes out. This is strictly, you know, there's no right, there's no wrong. It's just how you, you know, want to put it together, basically.
And just experimenting too. That's what
Yeah,
we've been
yeah.
doing, experimenting with all kinds of different
Right.
things.
I'll turn it over and out. See, look how great this is coming out. Okay, let me turn this over, if I can. Get rid of that. Okay. And press it down from the back. If I was working in a regular area to do this, I would use masking tape and tape the corners of my parchment paper and stuff down. It keeps it from sliding, but even if it slides, it's no big deal. It's not going to hurt anything, but it's just... Oops, it's getting brown on there. I must be doing it too hard. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, what do we got? Let's see, I'm going to hand this iron off to Debbie because I don't want to... Yeah. Perfect. Now, look at that. That is really cute. And you can't tell where I screwed up on the stamping and stuff, where I smeared it. And so now all we want to do... Oops, I'm going off the edge. All we want to do is cut our tissue paper away from... And don't worry if it's not a straight cut, because you could clean it up later. And you're right, Debbie, those herbs smell great on here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Come on. To make a smaller project next time.
Probably used a smaller piece of tissue paper.
Yeah, probably could have. Okay. I can tell I'm going to have that iron back because I'm not tight around the edges. You want to concentrate on the edge of your paper, your tissue, with the freezer paper, you know, so that you get a good bond. And sometimes when you're working with all those layers of paper to get it pressed, you can't tell if it's tight or not. That's okay, I just need the one. I think it's good as far as... Okay, thanks. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to make sure that our edges are really tight. I'm used to ironing sitting down.
I'm used to ironing, period.
I know you're not.
My iron is the dryer.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Graham used to try and get me to iron. The worst part was when the kid's dad was in the Navy and I had to do those military presses on all of his uniforms.
I know.
We would go on the weekends up to Graham's to visit so we could take Ashley, because she was just a little baby then, and they wanted to see her, and she'd say, "If you bring your uniforms, I'll iron them." We were there every weekend.
She used to iron everything.
Oh my God, for hours.
Yeah, well, my
Underwear and
grandmother,
socks
yeah,
even.
I know. And then she taught me how to iron, and I had to do it. Okay, let's see what we got here now. I'm going to give this back to you so we don't... There you go. Thanks, Deb. Yeah, that's good. Okay, but look how cute that is. You know, I mean, we're talking decorate with trash here, you know? And it's got a really great feel to it. There's all kinds, I hope you could see all that in the, and like I say, don't worry about the edges. You can trim those up later. But it's got a really great feel to it. And it looks just like handmade paper. And you would swear, when you're even this close to it as I am, that those are real plants in there, you know? And look how cute that little grocery bag stuff, that netting off of the veggies and stuff looks. It's really, really cute. And you just put it however you want it, and there is no right or wrong way, like I say. It's super cute and super fun to use. I mean, gosh, you could make all kinds of cute stuff out of this. We tried this morning. We wanted to experiment, and we're still going to do it. We thought it might be kind of fun. We wanted to do some like Easter motifs and stuff, you know, different let me see your little thing
Well,
there.
he's an experiment.
Yeah,
so
this is an experiment. But he has possibilities, you know? Debbie cut these out of regular cardstock, and she thought that it might work if she took, on top of the freezer paper, she just cut out little pieces of plastic wrap, cellophane, yeah, plastic wrap, and put them behind the little bunnies, and so that they would adhere really well to the freezer paper, and then put a napkin over. Is this napkin or
No,
tissue paper? I
White
mean,
tissue
yeah,
paper.
over the top, and it works. I mean, this is not something that, you know, this is not how she wanted it actually to be. It was just an experiment for the adhesion. And so we thought it would be cute to be able to do that, you know, and embed other things in there. And so it's something we're working on, but it's an idea, and
Yeah.
maybe you guys can, you know, do it and find a way to do it. But you can see, you could take all kinds of papers, or, you know, well, yeah, papers like the pattern papers and that kind of stuff, and all kinds of little pieces of trash. Now you want to make sure, if you're going to use little pieces of trash like this, that they're plastic, because it's the heat, of course, that on the plastic that adheres it to the paper. That's when you're going to get the adhesion that you need. And of course the crayons, they'll melt down and adhere to the paper, and it helps the paper, helps everything stick together. And the ink, of course, you don't have to worry about that. It's, you know, does its thing. Now we did try, and I don't think we have it, I think we threw it away, but we did try regular distress ink. It doesn't work. Number one, the colors are weird, aren't they, when they get heated?
Kinda just, once it heated, it kind of disappeared.
Yeah,
Went
it
away.
was,
It didn't.
it wasn't good, so we don't recommend that. But what the heck, you have tons of stuff to work with. Everybody has plastic bags. Most people will be buying their veggies and taters and stuff in plastic, you know, netting. And the looks you could get, I mean, we were just fascinated by it. Yesterday afternoon, we just sat here and kept thinking, what else? And you just get some really, really fun pieces.
You
And-
could use patterned tissue paper, like tissue paper.
Yeah, well,
that
that's what we
has-
did here.
Well,
Yeah.
like glitter, if you like.
Yeah,
sparkly,
right,
you could
right.
put glitter kind. or they have the little
Right.
Different flakes and stuff in it.
I was at the dollar store this morning, and I noticed that they're getting a lot of their spring stuff in, and I should have bought some, but I was focused on this kind of thing, and they had some great looking print and plaid tissue paper.
Oh yeah, that would.
You
be
know,
good
in the
too.
Easter colors.
Yeah.
We should get some of that, since we're experimenting with the little Easter things. But, you know, not just for your journal, but for card making and stuff. You could come up with all kinds of cool stuff. And these, I mean, to me, this looks just like old fabric. I mean, it's just, I love it. And I like how it doesn't come clear to the edge. It's just kind of, yeah. So anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was kind of confusing there for a while, and having to watch me iron in this tiny little spot. But I think you get the idea of it, and I think you could have a lot of fun with it. And you know, you can do envelopes, tags, pages, covers on your journals, all kinds of stuff. You know, there's no limit to size, you know, or anything. So have fun with it, and we'll see you next time.